Hello and welcome to an AppleScript and AppleNumbers edition of AppleAday. I had a request from a viewer to create a macro that will transfer a row of cells from one sheet to another in AppleNumbers. Initially, I thought this would be an easy request, but it turned out to require a little more effort. At first, I assumed I could leverage copy and paste, but at the AppleScript level, Numbers does not support that. So, after a little playing around, I figured out a pretty straightforward approach. I'll admit that this is a pretty specific use case, but if you're new to AppleScript, this will certainly help you learn to communicate with applications like AppleNumbers. So I'm just going to do a walkthrough of the script I wrote, and hopefully you'll find it useful. Let's jump right in. I've got a numbers document open that you can see here. It has one sheet with a table pre-populated with some generic data, and on another sheet I have an empty table. I also have a blank AppleScript document open in the script editor. What I want to be able to do is quickly copy a row of data from the first sheet to the second sheet. It'll require at least one cell selected in the source sheet to determine the row to copy from, and also one cell selected in the destination sheet to determine the row to copy to. I'm going to start by talking to the Numbers application. I'll type in tell application and then numbers in quotes. And then we want to talk to the active document, which will always be document 1. This is true when communicating to any application in AppleScript. You pretty much always talk to document 1. So I'll type in tell document 1. Now, each tell statement requires a closing tell statement using the phrase end tell. Since we have two tell statements, I'll add two end tell statements. I can click on this tool to compile what we have so far to make sure there's no mistakes. Looks good. So moving on, in order to get the selected cell for the first sheet, that sheet must be visible. I'll get an error if I try to get the selected cell from the source sheet if the currently visible sheet is the destination sheet. So I'll type in a comment to indicate what we're doing. Typing in 2 hyphens creates a comment, and I'll type in go to source sheet. And on the next line, I'll enter the code that actually does this. Set active sheet to sheet 1. So this is telling Numbers to make the first sheet the active visible sheet. To test this, I'll change my active sheet to the destination sheet and then run this script to see if it switches back to the source sheet. And now the source sheet is active, so it works and we can move on. Next, we need the selected row of the source sheet. I never should have called it source because after saying it a few times, it's hard to say. So next, we need the selected row of the source sheet so we know which row to copy. And we also need to know the total columns to copy. I'll add another comment, get the row to copy and the total columns. So we need another tell statement, tell table 1 of sheet 1. This talks to table 1 of the source sheet. So let's get the selected row so we know which row to copy. Set the row to copy to address of row of cell 1 of selection range. I'll quickly go over this and I'll work it backwards. It's referencing the selection range, which can be 1 or more cells. And the selection range is the range of cells that you have selected or clicked on. And from that selection range, we're only interested in the very first cell of that range, cell number 1. And then from the cell, we want to know the row where it resides. Now, the row itself is not numeric, it's a class of properties. What we need is the actual row number. The numeric value of the row is stored in the address property. So we're going to get the address of the row. And finally, we're saving that address, which is the row number, into a variable called the row to copy, which we'll be accessing later. Next, we need to know how many columns to copy, which will be the number of columns in the table. If you look up at the tell statement, we're already talking to the table, so we don't need to reference it again. I'll type in set the total columns to column count. Column count is a property of the table, and we're storing that value into a variable called the total columns. We'll need to know that when we copy the cells onto the other sheet. And that's all we need right now from the source sheet. I'll close this with an end tell. I'll compile so we know we're good so far. Now we need the selected row in the destination sheet, or sheet 2. This is the row that we'll be copying into. First, we need to make the destination sheet active. I'll add a comment, activate the destination sheet, and the line of code, set active sheet to sheet 2. And now we can get the row of the selected cell. I'll add a comment, get the selected row to copy into. And this time I'll do it without using another tell statement. Set the row to copy to address of row of cell 1 of selection range of table 1 of sheet 2. Once again, I'll go over this backwards. We're talking to sheet 2, which is the destination sheet. Then we're looking at table 1 of this sheet, and then the selection range, and the first cell of the selection range, cell 1, and just like before, the row of that cell, and then the address of that row, which will be the row number. And that row number is now stored in the variable the row to copy to. Okay, so now we've got all the information we need to do the copy. I'll compile again. All looking good so far. We'll be copying one cell at a time, so we're going to use what's called a repeat loop to loop through all the cells in the columns one cell at a time. I'll first add a comment, loop through the cells to copy, and I'll enter in the repeat command, repeat with the column index from 1 to the total columns. And just like a tell statement, it needs a closing statement, so on the next line, I'll type in end repeat. I'll compile. Everything looks good. So what's happening here is everything between repeat and end repeat will be run multiple times. The number of times is determined by the repeat statement. It kind of works like a counter. The variable, the column index, contains the value of the counter. The counter counts from 1 to the value of the total columns, which in our example will be 6. That's the column count. So this repeat code block will run 6 times, counting from 1 to 6. Each time it runs, the value in the variable, the column index, will increment, starting at 1 and then going to 2, 3, 4, 5, and ending at 6. So now we can write the code to do the actual copy. This can be done in one long, messy statement, but it's easier to break it up into 2 lines of code. First, we want to get the value that we're copying. I'll add a comment, get the value to copy, and then I'll enter in the code to get the value, set the value to copy to value of cell, the row to copy, of column, the column index, of table 1 of sheet 1. I'll enter the next line of code before going over it. First, another comment, copy the value to the destination. And the code, set value of cell, the row to copy to, of column, the column index, of table 1 of sheet 2 to the value to copy. So this is actually pretty straightforward. The first line is storing the value of the cell to copy into a variable called the value to copy. Referencing a cell requires you to give it the row and the column. You see that the row for the cell is specified with the row to copy, and the column is coming from the column index. That's the counter that goes from 1 to 6. And this is pointing to the first table of the source sheet, sheet 1. So that gets the value from the source sheet, and the next line copies that value to the destination sheet. It sets the value of the cell at row, the row to copy to, at column, the column index. And this is pointing to sheet 2. And it's setting the value of this cell to the contents of the variable, the value to copy. And that's it. And after this, there's the end repeat and the 2 end tell statements. I'll compile again to make sure there aren't any errors, and that looks good. So let's run it and see what happens. And I get an error. Can't get selection range of table 1 of sheet 1 of document 1. This is because we didn't select anything. Before moving on, let's add a quick check for an error. AppleScript has a built-in command for that called try. So after tell document 1, I'm going to add a new line and type in try. And then after end repeat, I'll add the line on error, and then another line, display dialog, and in quotes, please make a selection. And after that, one more line, end try. So this is catching or trapping an error when the script is running. AppleScript will try to run the code after the try statement. If it fails for any reason, it will run this code after the on error statement. Basically, in the event of an error, do this instead. So in the event of an error, it'll display a dialog window with the text, please make a selection. I'll run it again, and now instead of an error, we get that dialog window. I'll just click on OK and then make sure that something is selected in the numbers document. I'll pick a random cell in the source sheet and another random cell in the destination sheet. Now I'll run the script, and look at that, it worked. The values of all the cells in the selected row have been successfully copied. I'll do another one. As I already said, this is a very specific use case. But if this is your first time experimenting with AppleScript and AppleNumbers, this should help you understand some basic programming concepts. If you're interested in scripting, go ahead and check out some of my other AppleScript tutorials. I've put links in the description below. If you want to see something specific with AppleScript, just let me know in the comments. Thanks as always for watching. Please like and subscribe to help me do more of these videos. I'm John Martins, and I'll see you in the next episode of Apple a Day.